online and live. So hello and welcome everyone to our new AI stream. Like always, I've gathered the most interesting projects from the last couple of days that were released. With me, do you want to introduce yourself really quick? Maybe Emmanuel, you can start.
Oh yeah, I'm Emmanuel. You guys know me if you've seen the stream a few times already. We have also here some of our participants from our Gaia Accelerator in Saudi. So if you guys want to say a couple words.
Sure. Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay. So, hi, I'm Kamal. So, I'm the CEO and founder of RingNect AI. So, we are a conversational voice-based AI platform that is trying to revolutionize the hospitality sector right now in Saudi. And we are just getting started. So, yeah.
All right, and I am Naman. I have been in the lab ecosystem for a very long time, done like 6, 7 hackathons here. And one of the hackathon projects, we got incubated through the Slingshot program. And now we are also in the accelerator program of New Native called Gaia here in Saudi with Kamil. And I'm the CEO of a company called New Locus. We are doing stable diffusion fine tuning and letting users redesign their interiors using the specific products of our clients.
Yeah, so very happy to have you here. Also, hi, somebody in the chat, Innova Deck, I think. So yeah.
Happy to be here as well. So,
All right, and then after this, let's have a look at our first release. So this is Adobe Firefly, and this is already been out for a couple of weeks, but now they basically released their product worldwide. So yeah, and I think this is a pretty cool product because you have all of these different generation models. So you have text to image, generative fill, text effects, and all of these other things that are basically now free and available to everyone in the world. So yeah, and maybe let's try this out because I think the quality on this is also pretty significant. If I would rate the quality of different image generation models, I think you can have Stable Diffusion is unfortunately at the bottom, but you have a lot of customization options. And then a little bit better was the model from that you could use on Discord.
Midjourney.
Midjourney, exactly. So yes, and now we have also this Firefly model. So maybe let's make something really simple here. Maybe let's just take a solar punk city in the jungle or something.
But this is like available through this web interface, not only through Adobe like products, right?
Yes, exactly. Okay, so let's generate this, and you can see on the right side you have all of these different style options. Yeah, let's wait a few seconds until these generations are finished. And you can see that I think this comes pretty close to Midjourney in terms of quality. Yeah, pretty cool to see that this is now available to everyone, basically for free.
Yeah, can you try making a human? You know, the hands are always this like
Okay, let's see.
test fire. Yeah. Yeah, also I remember seeing long ago this it was like a post or something like that that models have like issues with specific things. Like there was this prompt of a human eating pasta, but it showed the human like eating pasta like with their hands on their feet because for some reason the model like couldn't grasp like how pasta is eaten, so it had like issues like this. So yeah, it's always fun to to see. See, there you go, the hand.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, these
But-
images are heavily stylized, I think you could say.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah,
But
I
I
see it
think-
has some. Sorry, Camille, go.
No, but I think Midjourney is like way better, or do you think this is like? I think it's in the initial stages, right? Or is it like? What do you think about the comparison when you compare it between Midjourney and Firefly?
Well, like for instance, at least I can see that this new Firefly has like a really easy to work with interface because Midjourney, you know, you either have to set up the whole UI or use it through Discord. And also, I saw there was some like customization options, right, Fabian?
What do you mean for this one right here? So yes, you have this
Like,
really
yeah.
easy to use like style picker, things like this.
Yeah, I agree. It's more easy to use kind of a thing.
Yeah, but you might be right in terms of quality. Also, it's curious why the human picture specifically was like heavily like stylized like a
I
comic or
agree.
something like that.
And you have more details, little more details, I think, in Midjourney, where I feel like, you know, Adobe, it's good actually. It's really good, but I feel like, when you compare it with Midjourney, the details that you get is a little more higher, is what I feel.
I work with Stable Diffusion, so I can say that this is far better than the results that we get at Stable Diffusion. And
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah, and as Kamal said, this is in terms of comparing it to Midjourney is a little bit, I would say, unfair because Midjourney you cannot really use it without paying them, and this is I think open source or rather free to use.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, it's free to use. So
Yeah, no,
I
pretty
really
cool for
appreciate.
sure.
Yep, it looks really cool to me.
Yeah, it's a little bit sad that this is actually not open source, but basically sold as a product. But yeah, that's how it is. But yeah, super cool that this is free to use, at least for some demo generations. So yeah, I guess this will just empower all of creators that create this digital content.
So is there any, like the maximum samples that you can create, or is it like you can go ahead with how much ever samples you want to create for?
I'm not entirely sure about this. Maybe let's just generate something and see if we have some kind of limit somewhere. But for now, I didn't see any limit on this.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm also sure that this is now heavily integrated into Adobe's other products. So I guess,
For sure, for sure.
yeah, all right, just super cool to see this. And yeah, maybe let's jump over to our next big topic, which is StableAudio. So Stability AI basically became famous through Stable Diffusion, which was an image generation model. And now they released this StableAudio, which is now an audio generation model. And we can just try something here. Let's go with lo-fi, I don't know, relaxed beats. So this is the model's name right here, and you can also set a duration. So for now, to get a quick generation, let's just take 10 seconds. Let's generate this. What is a little bit sad also here is that you only have 23 generations. And they did not open source the model, which was actually the normal thing or the thing that Stability AI promised with their mission. So yeah, a little bit sad that we don't have access to the model, but yeah, I hope this product will basically also be helpful to generate some background music, things like this.
And can you at least like download these 18 or 20 samples that you said?
Yes,
Yeah.
you can download them all right
Okay.
here. I'm not sure if you have audio, but let's try. So the stream definitely has audio.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I mean, sounds fine. I also saw that the example prompts are way longer than my prompt right here. So I guess the quality can be improved with some longer and more tested prompts. But yeah, generally super cool to see these audio generation models because I think this is also great for content creators, background music, just stuff like this.
Yeah, totally. And we see very few like I say hyped projects or like that are like people are talking about them using this audio generation, I think.
Is there any benchmark that how is it comparing to the other audio generation models out there?
I think not yet. I think this is just to the nature that this is not open source yet. But yeah, I hope we will see something like this soon because I would also be interested in this. I would be also interested in how to actually judge these audio generations in terms of quality and things like this. Yeah, because I think it's not an easy task. But yeah.
How much is the price point they're charging for?
Let's see. So we have the free plan with 20 free monthly generations up to 45 seconds. And then the professional with 500 tracks per month with up to 90 seconds.
90 seconds. Okay.
See, interestingly, there's not a lot of flexibility. Like it's just this professional plan and then goes to enterprise. And
Yes.
even the professional, it's 19 seconds, which is not a lot. So
Not in
it
India.
might be a bit expensive to like maybe generate something because nature of like either music or podcast or whatever are long-ish, I guess.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. But for YouTube videos or, as you said, like for content, small contents, I think this would be sufficient, right? 90 seconds, you get 1.5 minutes for this. And I think this is, as of right now, for a content creator, we use very short videos every time, all the time. So makes sense.
Yeah, also like those like videos that you see in social media that are like clips of a movie with some random music in the background, and
Exactly.
this is just
Yeah.
like a golden pot because no like rights issues here.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, but yeah, super cool to see this actually coming from Stability AI, and I hope we will see even more models coming from them really soon. All right, then with
Yeah, I
this,
agree.
let's jump over to our next topic. And it seems like we have one of these models in every stream, and it seems like they are improving basically from week to week. And you can really see these improvements. So right now we have this paper called SyncDreamer, generating multi-view consistent images from a single view image. And here are some of the results actually coming from this. So on the left side, we have the input image of this backpack. And yeah, then you can see that on the right side, we get this 3D model generated. And yeah, the quality of this is just super nice to see. And also there are no crazy fragments and fractals, things like this. Yeah, and you can only speculate on how this could actually improve things like game creation and things like this.
No, yes, and it
Yeah.
seems like fairly good. Like I like this is like impressive, I would say, because it's not easy to like even if you're just like a human, like drawing like angles, perspectives, it's not it's never been an easy task. So I think this is really good. Of course, like you have one or two things, like for example the that kind of like house thing, like the color of the roof changes at some point. But yeah, I still think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I totally agree, Emmanuel. And in my pipeline, like this is something that we have been trying to do as well. Like one of the things that we depend on in our company is to have like images of the objects from different angles so that we can train the model on how to generate these items consistently. And this kind of a technology is the next step that will help us take a single product image and basically just use that to convert it into something like this and then take whatever number of amount of images that we want. But I think what needs to be improved here is like uh, the pixel size. Like right now it's quite small. Like if you upscale it, a lot of things will get distorted because AI will need to fill it according to like the the product itself will get distorted. So I think that's the next step to increase the resolution of these outputs.
Yeah, like Fabian said, we see these often, but they are getting better for sure. And I guess this is from a paper, right, Fabian?
Yes, but they also released like the code and everything, so it's super nice to see
Oh,
this.
great. Yes. Yeah, no, and it's very cool. Like I am really impressed right now, actually.
I tried
Even
using
the
Runway.
Mario.
Yeah, I tried using Runway 2.0 from a picture, and it was creating a video from the image that I provided, and it was really distorted and it was not up to. But seeing this is like really amazing. So
Yeah, like Norman said, that's a usual issue when it comes to this. But
yeah,
I wonder, like, do you get like what's the output of the model? Is it a series of frames or anything
Um,
like that?
yeah, yeah, like series of frames. So it's like from the image, I provided my image, my photo,
Mhm.
and it eventually created a video with someone else laughing. It was almost similar to my face, but someone else was laughing. I think it was trained on that particular person or something. So,
Yeah, and
but
I see in this one, Fabian, it's a 3D construction. Yeah,
yeah, basically it generates these images and then creates a real 3D object out of these multiple views.
that's very nice.
All right, and just like I already said, you can find all of this also on GitHub. They basically released the entire thing, so super cool to see this. And yeah, maybe let's already jump over to our next topic, which is this new assistant to build Roblox levels. Yeah, and this is also basically AI powered, and I think this is really cool because it shows like all the capabilities of large language models in combination with things like actual game engines. So yes, let's have a look at this video right here and see. Oops. Okay. Okay, so yes, this was quite fast, so maybe let's break it down once more. So basically it starts with this message, "Hi there, what can I help you with? I want to make a game set in ancient ruins." And this is basically what then the game comes up with. And yeah, then you can go ahead. So basically here you can see what items were used or what objects were used. Yeah, then you can basically have this chat conversation and make changes to the level in real time. Yeah, which is super cool because I personally had to use Blender for one class of my university, and I personally hated it because it was just too complicated to get something good looking running. So yeah, I would love to actually, if I would have had this in the past, to just make 3D levels in games. And you can even say these cool things. So you just say, okay, add a campsite in the ruins. Yeah, and then you can see that this is even coming from the marketplace, and then it will spawn it right here.
Yeah,
Are we
it's
also
pretty
able
cool.
to-
Sorry, no, go please.
Okay, I was just saying, are we also able to specify the location of where to put these objects, or is it just it decides automatically?
I think it decides automatically. So I mean, right here it said spawn the campsite in the ruins, and I mean, yeah, the spawn looks fine to me. So I guess it will just choose on its own.
Also super easy to use. I see like this chat. I think we have talked about this before that like things are like user like experience are pointing to a chat interface always, at least with these things that we see. And like yeah, like you have it here. I think we've said before, Fabian, that like probably not, of course, but yeah, this is a very good example of that, and like it's super easy to use. And like, was this? Do you know if this was developed by Roblox itself, or is this like some independent project?
No, I think this is actually an official Roblox product. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so in terms of generating items in a space, this is something that we also do. So some challenges in that direction are that you need to know where to place the item, you need to know the orientation, the sizing, and also like the fit of like where exactly it fits. So all these things, I see like they're doing pretty well without actually specifying. So it's quite impressive.
Yeah, I can
Yeah, I
imagine that
agree.
this is a problem. Yeah, I would be very interested to actually see how they are passing this information to a large language model or how exactly they are doing this in the background. But yes, this is very impressive. And this is something that is also super interesting. So basically, they have this mesh of the bear, and now basically the message says that they want to make it more realistic. So I recommend using a custom texture. And then it says I generated texture for the bear, and then automatically applies this texture on there. And this is also super impressive because the texture has to follow the object's structure. So yes, this is very, very cool to see.
Yeah, like absolutely. No, I just can't say anything else. Like this is pretty cool. It's really, really like interesting. And I, like you said, like how is this handled in the background? Maybe they have some info somewhere there in the internet that might be worth to take a look because you can apply these to a lot of things. Like if you had a tool that would work in some sort of engine for like game developing, it would just be like so much faster to build a game, for example.
Yes. I actually think that I'm not sure if basically these textures are always a 2D image in the end. And what they could do is take this 2D image, then use something like this control net to just guide Stable Diffusion in the right direction, and then generate a specific texture for the sphere. But
Yeah,
yeah,
this is exactly what my question was. Like, if it is just a 2D image and not a 3D object, then control nets come into picture. You have the mask of the bear. The model is already trained on this specific label bear, and it knows its masks. So it can basically run a texture on top of it. So that's basically it, like the control net part and getting the mask of the bear.
yeah. But super cool to see all these functionalities combined into this one chat level creation. So yeah, very impressive. And yeah, you also have this atmosphere setting, so create a spooky nighttime atmosphere, and you have all this fog added, things like this. Lighting, atmosphere, skybox. So yeah, super cool to see. And yeah, this is actually something that we've spoke about in the last stream, that just these generative AI features will enable developers to work so much faster and easier, and basically make everyone a game developer just by chatting. So yeah, very impressive. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're still far from like taking game developers' jobs, like the AI. I mean, but yes, very like I told you, like you can like become so much more productive with these type of tools. You know what we always say about this.
Yeah, and I guess this is just the right use case, because this is not actually game development, but just this level development for Roblox, which I guess is mostly played by kids. So yeah, super cool to see this. Yeah, made just that easy. All right, so let's jump over to our next topic. So this is another paper that basically tries to improve code generation with their own completion engine, they call this. And their evaluations on some data sets basically shows that there is a huge improvement with the system. And yeah, this is also available on GitHub, and you can basically test this out on your own. They have this Docker image with this evaluation that gets run automatically. You can see that the average generation time is 1.3 seconds. So I guess if this would be integrated in some product that actually is like Copilot and has way better generations, I think this could be a very successful project. And yeah, just super cool to see this.
Yeah, I agree. Also, very nice that they have it like in GitHub, very well structured for everybody who wants to go check it out.
Yeah. All right, but let's not go too deep into this, because I have 3 really cool examples of these RAG applications. RAG meaning retrieval augmented generations. So basically what you do is just, you have a piece of document, then you index these documents into smaller chunks, then you have a query from the user, then you get all of these most relevant chunks out of your database, you put all these chunks in a prompt, you add the question to the end of the prompt, and then you have a generation that is based on the most relevant context of the document. And these are now 3 applications that basically follow this pattern. One is actually coming from Microsoft, but we will go to this in a second. So yeah, if you are building these type of applications, these are just 3 really good examples. Yeah, so right here we have this LLM applications. You can also find all of these links in the Lab news channel if you're interested. Then we have this vector search AI assistant coming from Azure. So yeah, this is basically coming from Microsoft. So they really know what they're doing. Also, they probably had a lot of knowledge building this Bing AI feature, Bing Chat, I think it's called. So yes, this is just a really good example of how to actually build these RAG applications. Yeah, and this is actually another one of these, and this is something special. I mean, first of all, this looks really good. And this is basically what it looks like after setting it up. You can upload documents, or you can actually scrape a website, which is also a really cool feature. Yeah, and then you can chat with the website or chat with your uploaded documents. But yeah, like I said, these are just examples if you are interested or if you are building these RAG-based applications.
Yeah, this last one, like super easy to use. I wonder if they also give you like the information in some other way so you can integrate to whatever you're building. But regardless, yeah, like everything that's like right away like to work with. It opens the opportunity for all like these people that might not be like too tech savvy, I would say, to start working with these things, which are pretty cool to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. This is just overall a great application to build to learn all these AI things. So yes, I can really just recommend basically using this.
Do we have any idea about the hallucinations in this? Because there was one use case that I was doing in one of the Lab hackathons, and that relied on this same architecture, but it was around legal documents. Not really legal, but more of like research. So, kind of checking if that specific information is true or not. And our bottleneck was the hallucinations. So, has there been anything done in that regard in these new iterations?
I mean, these projects are still using the OpenAI API, so GPT 3.45 and 4. But yes, I guess these hallucinations are still a problem, but yeah, I'm also sure that you can reduce them by actually passing on all these contexts from the documents. Yeah.
Yeah, hallucinations, language models are things that often come together, if not always. But I think that like in this type of things, it would only happen if you're working with something very like field specific, like you said, research of something. Then you're prone to some sort of hallucination. But like Fabian said, like I guess it depends on the quality of context it passes and the model you're using, of course. But yeah, I think we're gonna see that until the like big models are like start become better in this aspect.
Yeah, I also think so.
This is free, right? I mean, it's just a project, sample project, or is it like, because why I'm asking is in GPT 3.5, there is no option to, scrape and all those things. So this is really good actually.
Mhm.
And you can upload and summarize the project as well. So otherwise, I have to pay for GPT-4 and then do it actually.
Yeah, I guess this is just an example project. I think
Oh, okay, okay.
their hosted website right here isn't even fully functional because they would have to pay for all of these requests, which can get quite expensive.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I guess you can
makes sense.
just set this up on your own at your own API key, and then yeah,
Okay.
maybe
Okay. Okay.
use this
Makes sense.
Yeah,
locally.
yeah, the main key of these things is the architecture behind them, because then you
Yeah.
can connect that to whatever language model you have. Of course, the
True.
better
True.
language model, the better like the performance you will get. But what this gives you is like the whole like embedding and retrieval and augmentation process, I guess, and like approaches than others. Especially, I guess it depends on what you're doing. But yeah, like yeah, it's exactly what you're looking at the screen right now.
Yeah, and this project right here, so the first one, called LLM Applications, also offers the opportunity to actually use open source models that are hosted on this AnyScale platform. So yeah, that's also cool to see that we have, for example, the huge llama in here, the 7 billion parameter model. Yeah, but also cool to see not only OpenAI and all of these applications.
Yes,
True.
we have
True.
actually a question that says from the chat from Rainer Forever. It's asking, can you give the links, please, how to check those open source projects on LabLab?
Yes, so I can show you real quick. Basically, you just go to Discord, you join the LabLab server, which you can find on lablab.ai. You join the LabLab server. Where is it? There it is. And in here we have the new and AI news channel. And there are basically already all of these links in here. So if you're interested, you can just go here and find all of these links that I'm showing right now.
Thank you,
Okay,
Fabian.
so let's go over to our next topic. So this is another paper that was released recently, and it's called NeXT-GPT, and this is an any-to-any multimodal large language model. And maybe let's jump right into this picture. So basically, you can input text, images, audio, and video. The LLM then understands all of these mediums and can output any of these formats. And we also have this demo right here. I will just showcase this with a really simple example. So I will upload an image. I have prepared this image of a flower somewhere. Here it is. And now we can just ask what is in this image. Let's submit and run. And now we have this chat-based conversation where we basically have the image uploaded and then our message below the image. And this takes a little bit of time. And now the model basically has generated the image, features a beautiful sunflower in full bloom, bright and yellow with a golden center, is growing in a field surrounded by green grass and other plants. So yeah, I would say this is a pretty good result for a model that can do all of these different things. So yes, also again, very impressive to actually see a model that can do all of these things at once.
So can you go back for a second to this like diagram? Yes. So the model, it's the language model itself.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. I wasn't sure if it was the language model or I guess the everything else, and you just connected it to some language model. No, but yes, this is pretty cool. Like this is basically like what was promised when ChatGPT 4, like, well, GPT-4 came out, that you could like use pictures and whatnot. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I guess we haven't seen anything like that actually. That you can send pictures, get pictures, audio, video, etc., and have everything within the same conversation. I don't remember seeing anything like that so far.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, like you said, it's a little bit sad that we still don't have these multimodal capabilities from GPT-4. Yeah, they're still not released, but hopefully soon.
Having this kind of a model gives a lot of power to the creatives. Just seeing these different things gives me so many ideas. Like, okay, maybe this can be done, maybe that can be done. So at least, even if it is limited as of now in terms of how accurate it is, or in terms of how well it can interpret things, I still say that this is really great for anyone learning all these things, and exploring things in the hackathon specifically.
Yeah, for sure.
I totally agree with that.
Yes, so I also hope that we will have some kind of applications where we can just drag and drop in files. So ChatGPT, for example, currently only has, I think you can also drop in some files, but basically no images and things like this. But it would be really cool to have an application that understands like audio, images all at once, and then can of course also generate these things.
Yeah, you can drag and drop files for the code interpreter. But I'm also like, I'm sure that when GPT-4 was released, it like, at least what you saw like everywhere is like that now ChatGPT can like process and like give back images. And it was like a multi input model sort of thing. But yeah, we all know that it's not what it does as of now.
Yeah.
Can you check the pricing model on this?
This is actually open.
It's open source.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, that's lovely.
Yeah, that's definitely super cool to see. And I guess these things are always hosted on Hugging Face, if I'm seeing this correctly. So yes, you can also use this in their API, which is also cool to you see, because then you don't have to set up the entire model on your own infrastructure. But yeah, super cool to see this.
Yeah, also I think something people don't think about when we talked about something being open source. It's not just because it's free and whatever, it's because it gives so much chance for people to work with this. And I don't think people like can measure how much impact like the community can have in the development of like specific tools. Like when you have like a community behind like supporting you and like making issues and contributing to code, things move so much faster.
Yes, for sure.
Projects like this seem to be like the logical step towards large action models. Like, until now, you could do one mode, and now you are multimodal, and you just need more and more data to basically build the action models on top of this. So, I think this is a really good progress in the right direction.
Yeah, and I think just having this open source, like Emmanuel, like you said, this will just improve the overall ecosystem around these models. So, for example, if you have a look at the Stable Diffusion web UI from now, and have a look at the project like a couple of maybe now a year ago, you can see that you have so many different options in there now. It's just crazy what the community can actually create around this. All right, but let's
Yes.
jump over to this one right here. So this is just some news. So Slack is also introducing AI capabilities into their entire platform, which is also cool because yeah, this will just improve the workflow of so many teams around the whole world, and improve your overall productivity by a lot, probably.
And what does this Slack AI like can do so far?
Um,
Do you know?
so they have this automation capabilities. I guess this workflow builder, I'm not entirely sure what this is. Unfortunately, we do not work with Slack. But yeah, I know that especially the software people basically often work with Slack. So yeah, that's super cool to see.
Yeah, it's very nice when you see like all these companies developing their own like in-house tools, because for sure somebody at some point was going to get some sort of extension to make anything like just faster or easier to work with. So yeah, this just makes it easier for us like end user to work with, I guess.
And maybe you saw it already here that they also have this summarize feature that we're also building for Discord. So yeah, that's also super cool to see.
Yeah, that's a feature that I would definitely use as soon as it is available.
Yeah, it's a huge pain when you actually have to read through tons of messages of older conversations just to know what's going on. Yeah. All right, then let's jump over to our last project right here. And this is just something super small if you're actually interested in building something with OpenAI's Whisper model. This is quite old now, but this notebook right here is actually a really good tutorial if you're interested on how to use the Whisper model with YouTube videos. So yeah, this is very in detail, impressive notebook that you can go through if you want to learn more about this. Yeah, then transcribe entire YouTube videos. All right, and
Okay.
yes,
Yeah, just a small comment that I actually needed this 2-3 weeks ago. So if I knew about it, I would have loved to check it out, because I was researching on some interviews and podcasts, and that those were in Arabic. I do not know Arabic, so this would have helped a lot in that.
yeah, definitely. Okay, so yeah, that's basically it already for today. I think we had a lot of interesting projects today. So yes, if you're watching and you're interested in these kinds of technologies, make sure to enroll in one of our upcoming hackathons. For example, we have the Falcom large language model family hackathon. Then we have a hackathon with some of OpenAI's products. We have the AutoGPT hack coming up. We also have this AI game jam coming up. I think we saw a really cool example here today for some ideas, what you can build here. Yeah, and also the startup hackathon. So yes, if you're interested, make sure to check out LabLab AI and enroll. And yes, with this, I want to thank you all for being here. Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys want to say one more time your name and what are you like the name of your company for the people who wasn't here, then who weren't here, then go ahead.
Sure, sure. So again, I'm Naman. Thanks for having me here. I'm the CEO of NeoLocus, and it's NeoLocus. If you want to check out, just reach out on LinkedIn or just ping me on Discord.
Yeah, so I'm Kamil, and thank you for having me, Fabian and Emmanuel. And I'm the CEO of Ringneck AI, and it's a voice-based conversational AI that is going to be pretty disruptive and going to revolutionize the hospitality industry. So if anyone wants to connect with me on LinkedIn, you can just search Ringneck AI.
Thank you guys for being here.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank
Manuel.
you, and have a great rest of the day. So yeah, bye bye.
You
Bye,
too.
everyone.
Bye-bye.